Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Forsaken Luna, the Alpha's Regret. Episode 2. Chapter 13. Nicholas's POV. The door flings open and her cologne filters into my nostrils. I raise my head from the paper I am reading and my eyes open wide for a moment. Natalia is dressed in a silk gown that clings perfectly to her body, revealing her hourglass figure, and that smirk on her lips makes me remember how much I have missed her and everything about her. With each step she takes towards me, the thoughts of Michelle drifts away. Yes, this is the woman I love and want to be with. This is the woman that will make my pack into a much bigger home than Michelle could ever do. Seeing her back at the hospital, I felt numb towards her. She means nothing to me anymore, and I am going to make sure I prove that to Natalia beyond reasonable doubt. I wasn't surprised to see her at Mandy's office. He was her doctor and she had been trying to get pregnant too. I was only surprised that she will continue to see him even after we have divorced. Is she still trying to get pregnant? Is she seeing another man too? I feel a hand snake around my neck and I jolt out of my thoughts. By now Natalia is sitting on my thighs with her face a few inches away from me, and how I want to kiss those rosy lips of hers and take her on my table. No matter how much I make love to her, I cannot get enough of it. That is how much I have missed her and how much I love her. You have locked yourself away since we came back from the hospital? Natalia, her angelic voice reaches my ear and my lips curl into a smile. I have been busy, that's why, my love. Really? I thought it was because you saw your ex-wife. A slight frown appears on her face and I scoff. She is just like a baby. My baby. You know Michelle means nothing to me anymore. I couldn't care less about her. Are you sure about that? Natalie begins to slowly caress my bare body and I cannot help but groan. She knows how to get the right emotions from me. She knows how to make me feel everything in between, and I love that about her. She looks like she still thinks of you, she says again while planting a kiss against my shoulder, and she goes ahead to unbutton my shirt. I cannot control her thoughts now, can I? I snake my hand around her slim waist and pull her closer, making her gasp in surprise. One of the many reasons why I love her is her level of naughtiness. She knows how to make me and my wolf go wild in bed. When she first came to my office 2 weeks before I finally decided to divorce Michelle, I was angry and wanted to turn her away, but after telling me everything that happened and how Michelle tied her up and wouldn't let her see me, I was furious at myself for not paying enough attention to her and her needs. From that day, I vowed to protect her and give her back her rightful place at the pack and my side. For 2 weeks, I showed her all the love I could and decided to let Michelle go. Natalia was the one I loved. Nicholas, her seductive voice resonates in my ear as he presses a kiss on my earlobe. How about we go crazy? I miss you. Are you sure about that? I cup her bum and give it a light squeeze, making her moan in pleasure. I won't stop if I start, just don't hurt our baby like this is the permission I need. I immediately crush my lips against her rosy plump lips, which I have been wanting to do, and she moans. You love what you see. Natalia bites down on her lips as she asks me, but I don't answer. Instead I take one of them in my mouth and suck on it, making her arch her back more and her moans become louder. With a smirk, I gently bit down on it and Natalie groans in pleasure while tugging at my hair. The tattoo on her is one of the major turn-on for me, and my eyes drink in the sight while I work wonders on her peaks. My other hand is slowly massaging her. You are so wet, baby, I whisper into her ear as I press another kiss against her lips. You are making me wet, Nicholas. Her voice comes out in almost a whisper and the smirk on my face intensifies. I love the look on her face, the look that signifies that she also wants me as much as I want her. Parting her legs slowly, I use my left hand to hold her neck. Natalia shudders and the smirk on my face grows. You love this? I whisper into her ear and press a kiss on her bare shoulder, but she cannot even answer, not when my fingers are teasing her insides and she is struggling so hard to hold her composure. I know Natalia well enough and I know how to make her crazy. Gathering her up in my arms, I slowly lift her body and place her against the table and I spread her legs wide. Now she is in front of me and I can see her. Pushing forward against her, I hold onto her waist with one hand before thrusting my finger deep inside of her again and she cries out in pain and pleasure. My lips open in a smirk. I love how she is reacting to me and my touch. The kind of reaction I am not sure I have gotten from Michelle in our 3 years of marriage and mateship. Faster please, Natalia begs as she moans out loudly. You like what I am doing to you? I whisper to her and she nods immediately, making me push my finger deep into her and I lean forward, my face only an inch away from her. And for the record, Princess, I press another kiss on her lips. You do not have to feel insecure, I no longer think about Michelle. You are the only one I think of and the only one I want, do you understand me? She nods with tears in her eyes. Good girl. Michelle's POV. After my aunt left, I just lay on the bed reminiscing about what she told me. How Natalia was trying to erase everything that concerns the pack house and even the mansion. She must be trying so hard then, because 3 years is not something you can erase so easily, even though it was very easy for Nicholas to do. My thoughts are interrupted when a soft knock resonates on the door. My forehead creases into a slight frown as I pull my body out of bed. I am not expecting anyone who is actually at the door. The knock comes again and my frown intensifies. Who is there? I ask, not moving an inch from where I am standing. Open the door, Michelle. That familiar voice filters into my ear and my heart skips a beat. How did he find my room number? Looking round the room for a moment, I finally walk over to the door and open it. There he is standing in front of my door with an expressionless hovering over his face. He is dressed in a pair of black pants and a white button-up shirt, which he left the 2 upper buttons undone, and his hair is pulled back in a neat ponytail. I can't lie, he looks dashing. For a moment I keep looking at him without saying anything. I am wondering why he is actually here. Won't you let me in? His voice finally filters into my ear. Dr. Enzo, I finally find my voice. How come you are here? How did you even find my room number? His smirks greets me, but before I can even react, he walks into the room even before I invite him in. I haven't even told you to come in and you already have. I raise an eyebrow at him. Is that what doctors do now? You were lost for words, Enzo replies, and I couldn't keep standing for long, so you invited yourself into my room. It is literally a hotel, Michelle. He lowers himself on the only chair in the room. After a few seconds, I finally walk up to him and stand in front of him, my gaze directly on him, and I keep wondering what he is all about. Why are you here? Sit, Michelle, he orders in an authoritative voice, which makes a confused look appear on my face. Only one person has ever spoken to me like this, and that was Nicholas, but now this weird doctor. Don't you think you have some explaining to do? I blurt. You barge into my room and ask me to sit. What exactly do you want? Sit, Michelle, he tells me again, his eyes darkening at his words. Enzo leans back against the chair and crosses one of his legs over the other. My eyes unknowingly fly to his open chest where his 2 buttons are undone and the wolf tattoo on his chest catches my attention for a moment. It is beautiful. You can gaze upon me for as long as you want if you sit down, Michelle. I gulp and turn my eyes away from him for a moment before lowering myself on the bed. I am not sure why I am obeying his orders, but I just do it anyway. Notice something off? After I am seated, I return my gaze to him while Enzo leans towards me. His eyes travel down my body for a while and finally rests on my face. It seems you don't like the life that the moon goddess has given you, right? He asks out of nowhere, making a confused expression to hover over my face. What do you mean? A baby, a tumor. Don't you love your life? Do you know you can even die before you even birth your baby into this world? My heart skips for a moment. How did he know about all this? Did he snoop around in my file? I can't help but wonder. How did you? He immediately interrupts me. Let's stop with how I got your information and go to the part where you tell me why you want to put your life on the line because of a baby that has not yet been born. You at risk of losing your life if you keep the child. I suggest you terminate the pregnancy and get treatment. I immediately flare up. How dare he enter my room and tell me what he wants me to do? What exactly are you talking about? You know what I am talking about, Michelle, Enzo rasps out. I can understand the fact that you do not like your life or you are upset about something, but is that enough reason for you to want to throw your life away? You do not know anything about me, I half yell as I shoot out of the bed. You don't have any idea what I have been through and how hard I have struggled to get pregnant. Do you think I will throw this child away because of some stupid tumor? Stupid. Enzo scoffs. A tumor that will take your life is stupid. What else do you call it? I ask him as tears well up in my eyes. I have been trying for 3 years to finally get pregnant, and now that I have, a stupid tumor wants to ruin my life. I can't help but chuckle. I am sorry, but you don't know what I have been through for you to sit there and tell me to kill my child. You don't, Enzo scoffs while leaning back against the chair. He doesn't say anything for a few seconds, but his eyes continue to stare back at me like I am some kind of piece of art which he cannot take his eyes off. You and your husband got divorced, is that why? His question makes me more angry, but I try to keep my cool. Being stressed is not good for me or the baby. I think you have overstayed your welcome. You should leave. Dr. Enzo, was he also your mate? Enzo is adamant. He is one of those people who won't leave without an answer. Did he reject you? It is none of your business. It is one of them, I guess. His lips curl into a mocking smirk. I don't know him, but he is a fool if I must say. My face crease into a slight frown. What exactly is he talking about now? Your husband, whom I don't know if he is a stupid wolf or a foolish human, left you with your pregnancy which might kill you, and you still want to keep his child. Where did you get all this baseless information from? I fold my hand across my chest and my wolf continues to stare back at him in disbelief. Who exactly is he and why is he so comfortable with me all of a sudden? Get rid of the pregnancy? Michelle, I will not, I blurt immediately. You can take your consideration somewhere else because I don't need it. Omegas are always very stubborn. Must you always want things done the hard way? He stands up and begins to take slow steps towards me. I can't even move because I am trapped between him and the bed. With each step he takes closer to me, my heart beats fast against my rib cage. What is he trying to do? Why is he moving towards me? A lot is going on in my head as I continue to stare at him until he comes to a full stop in front of me and traps me. You shouldn't be so stubborn, Michelle. His voice comes out almost in a whisper. Now you make me want to know more and more about you. I open my mouth to say something but he nods his head in opposite directions signifying he didn't want me to say anything, and I clamp my mouth shut like I am being controlled. Since you are divorced, how about you come back with me to Los Angeles? He asks after a few seconds and my eyes open wide as saucers. I am lost for words. I mean, I could treat you better than your ex-husband ever did, Enzo says again, and before I can even say a word, he snakes his hand around my waist and yanks me closer, making me gasp in the process. Enzo's POV. As soon as I grab her waist, Michelle gasps, but she doesn't push me away, which makes the smirk on my lips grow wider. She is actually a very feeble wolf, unlike the tough attitude she is trying to portray. With my hand still on her waist, I can feel her entire body reverberate, and that look in her eyes is one I will remember forever. The soft texture of her body, the slimness of her waist, the raw beauty emanating from her. Everything about her just intrigues me at this particular moment, and I cannot take my eyes off of her, not until she gently clears her throat and I jolt out of my reverie of thoughts. What do you think you are doing? She asks, her gaze still on me. Forget about her hazel eyes, this girl has got some pretty long lashes and rosy lips. For a split moment I want to crush my lips against hers and have a taste of it, but I know she will throw me out of her hotel room never to see me again. I scoff at my own thoughts. Michelle could be the death of me even before I get to know her. Let me go, she rasps out and moves away from me slowly, which makes me bite down on my lower lip. Who are you to touch me like that? It's not like your husband is here or your mate, you are pretty much single, I tell her. So about my question, are you coming with me? You are joking, right? She tries to move away again, but I hold onto her hand. Let go, she retorts, and I nod in the negative. I can help you get better. I am not taking any treatment until I give birth. I have a lot of doctor friends who can help you back at Los Angeles. You should come with me, Michelle. Why? She suddenly goes angry. You don't even know me, so why do you want to help me? What is in it for you? Her gaze is darkening with each passing statement. What's the big deal about me getting treated? I just want to help you, I answer. Even my wolf wants to help you. When you fainted in front of my car, I knew you had come into my life to stay, so why should I not help? So I am like a charity case now. Her eyebrows rise in anger and I can't help but chuckle lightly. She is really a drama queen. Can you agree already and stop asking me all these questions, Michelle? I am already getting frustrated. You don't even have much time, you. I stop talking when someone knocks at the door and I see how she flinches, which makes me wonder if it is her ex-husband at the door. Are you expecting someone? No, not bothering to wait for her to move. I walk up to the door and fling it open. A woman's gaze meets mine and a deep scowl appears on her face. Who are you? She asks me. I should be asking you who you are, I ask her back while raising an eyebrow. Then Michelle walks up to us and the look on her face intensifies. She definitely knows who this weird lady is. She is also a wolf from the look of things, and I am guessing they are both from the same pack. You didn't tell me you were coming, Michelle says to the lady at the door. I was in the area and I decided to come see you. I didn't know you had a visitor. Her gaze travels back to me and rests on my face for a moment. I can see the lust and the excitement lingering in her eyes. I should have called not to worry, Michelle tells her. He is just about leaving. Her statement makes me turn my head to her direction almost immediately. I am not leaving. Not until she gives me a good answer. Sorry to burst your bubble, ladies, but I am not leaving, I tell the both of them, much to their amazement. You haven't given me an answer, so I am not going anywhere. Can you quit being so overly dramatic? Michelle growls and I find it cute, but I don't laugh. You should get going now, she further adds. Who is he, anyways? Just a doctor at the hospital? Lucy, Michelle tells her. Come on in. She opens the door wider and the weird lady saunters in. They both walk to the bed and the Lucy sits on it, but Michelle remains standing, which kind of annoys me. She is the pregnant one. She should be seated and not that. Why are you here? Her voice cuts into my train of thoughts and Lucy's attention comes on me again. This time I don't bother to hide it. I also keep staring back at her. You didn't tell me you had male friends, Michelle. Lucy starts to speak and I can feel the envy in her voice. I thought my brother was the only man in your life. The moment I hear her statement, anger immediately envelopes me. This can only mean one thing. Her brother was Michelle's mate, and seeing that she is a wolf, I am certain he is also a wolf. Is this a case of a wolf rejecting his mate? The more I think about it, the more furious I become, and I don't even know why. I am not related to Michelle in any way and she means nothing to me, so why am I overly concerned about her? Is that what you came here for? Michelle asks her, her voice breaking in the process. You didn't come to check on me. I felt bad for you, Mish, and that's why I am here, she retorts. But I didn't expect to find another man here. You said you loved my brother, but did your stupid brother love her? I can't help but button, and the two of them immediately turn to me, confusion written on both faces. Enzo, you don't need to do this. Michelle tries to stop me, but I completely ignore her and face the Lucy lady. Answer me, did your brother ever love her? Do you know who my brother is? She asks me. He can send you and everyone you love into oblivion, I scoff. She has so much faith in that brother of hers. And do you know who I am? I bent down in front of her, my gaze drinking in her every sight. I am one who will bring your brother from oblivion and tear him into 1,000 pieces. Do you understand what I am saying to you? Enzo, Michelle tries to speak. I immediately interrupt her. 7:30, I am coming to pick you up tomorrow morning. Not wanting to hear her response anymore, I hastily make my way out of the room before I get more angry and make that weird Lucy pay for what her brother did to Michelle, even if I am quite aware that it is none of my business. Michelle's POV. As soon as Enzo walks out of the room, a slight sigh leaves my mouth. Who exactly is he, and how dare he try to act like we are acquainted? The more I think about it, the more it makes no sense. What exactly is his motive behind coming to my hotel room and asking me to go with him to Los Angeles? My thoughts are interrupted when a hand prods me and I turn to see Lucy staring back at me, a bewildered look lingering on her face. I didn't know you had another man, Michelle, she tells me. I almost thought my brother did a bad thing for leaving you, the ideal Luna and mate. Her voice is full of enough sarcasm towards me. A frown appears on my forehead. I know exactly what she is trying to do. She is trying to guilt-trick me into thinking I am the problem when her brother was the one who brought his ex-girlfriend into our home and even got her pregnant. I tried not to think about it, but looking at the face of his sister, I get upset. For the longest time, Lucy pretended to like me. I didn't know she was worse than her own brother. Don't you think you should be saying that to your brother and not me? I ask her. The last time I checked, Nicholas was the one who served me divorce papers. Lucy scoffs. Maybe I thought too highly of you. I thought my brother lost a rare gem, but it turns out you are just a shiny stone amongst rebels. Are you trying to insult me? The more she speaks, the more upset I get. How dare she open her mouth and speak to me in such a condescending manner? Does she know what I have been through and what I am suffering at the moment? Even my wolf wants to jump out of my body and tear her into pieces. How did I not know that the family I cherished for years never even loved me, talked more of acknowledging me as their Luna? I thought too highly of you. I no longer care how she feels. Everyone in her family has mocked me enough and I no longer want it. I no longer want to have anything to do with them anymore. I think you should leave now, I say after a while. You are no longer welcome here. What? Lucy scoffs. I am the only one you have and I am the only one who can help you get back with Nicholas and the pack. I don't need your help and I certainly do not want to go back to Nicholas or the pack. You can kindly convey my message if he thinks I will be doing that. He is nothing but a past experience to me and I hope you tell him that too. Not bothering to wait for her response, I angrily make my way into the shower and angrily slam the door close. I do not want her to see the tears that have welled up in my eyes. I am not angry about the fact that Nicholas left me, but about the fact that even his sister that I trusted with everything I have could do this to me. I considered his family mine and this is what they do to me? I am so furious that I can feel my wolf begging to be released, begging to be let out so it can tear her into 1,000 little pieces. You are right, Michelle. Lucy's voice filtered into my ear again. We shouldn't see each other again. I will take my leave now. I don't say a word until the door closes and that's when I pull open the door and saunter back into the room, but before I can even stop myself, the door pushes open again and Enzo enters again, much to my amazement. I thought he left. He told me he was leaving, so why is he still here? You told me you were leaving. Did you cry because of your ex-husband? His gaze darkens as he continues to stare back at me. I just got something in my eye. I lie and turn away from him. I don't know why, but I don't want him to see me at my lowest because I no longer want to be vulnerable in front of anyone, not even him. Did you cry because of him? Enzo asks again, but I continue to ignore him until he grabs my hand and yanks me into his embrace, making me gasp. What do you think you are doing? I try to pull away from him, but he holds me to himself and won't let go. His hands snake against my waist and his manly cologne grace my nose. For a moment I want to stay in his arms forever and find that solace which had eluded me, but I know it is just my wishful thinking. I cannot just up and have him because I think I want him. Do you know what I do to the people who make the people who are important to me cry? His voice filters into my ear and I try to move away from him, but he still holds me tight in his embrace and I just relax. I no longer want to fight it. I allow him to hold me to himself as the tears continue to pour out. I cut them limb by limb, Michelle. Enzo tells me again, and I will make sure to cut your ex-husband limb by limb for making you shed tears. His hold on me tightens and my boobs press against his hard chest. I swear by the moon goddess I don't say anything, I just close my eyes and bask in the glory of Enzo's embrace. Maybe this is what I need at the moment, someone who will console me and tell me that I am not going crazy, someone who will see my pain and help to heal me, someone who... My thoughts are interrupted when he gently pulls away from me, holding my face firmly in his hands. He crashes his lips against mine in a slow yet steady kiss. Nicholas's POV. Natalia is sleeping peacefully on the bed while my gaze continues to linger on her. She is a complete replica of Michelle. Maybe because the two of them are siblings, but the difference isn't much. Even if I don't want to think about Michelle, looking at her elder sister, I cannot help but think about her. My musing is cut short when a soft knock resonates on the door and a frown appears on my face. Who dares to disturb me at a time like this? Pushing my body out of bed, I walk to the door and throw it open. Lucy is standing there and she looks a bit upset, which makes my forehead crease into a frown. What happened? I ask her, why do you look so glum? I met with Michelle, she tells me, and the frown on my face intensifies. What did she expect me to do because she met with Michelle? Thinking about it, it annoyed me off. So what? I glance back at Natalia and luckily she is still sleeping. I made her a promise not to talk about her sister again and Lucy is making me break that promise. She was with another man, Nicholas, Lucy says again, and for a moment, I clench my jaw together. We haven't even broken up to a week yet and she is already with another man? It seems I am not the only one who was tired of the relationship we both shared. He was in her hotel room and from the look of things, they are both very close, so why are you telling me this? She doesn't mean anything to me anymore and I don't care what or who she goes out with. I am not here to blame you, Nicholas, Lucy announces. I just wanted to let you know the kind of woman you thought was your wife. She is nothing but a snitch and a cheat. I am glad you let her go. After she is done talking, Lucy turns on her heels and walks away, much to my amazement. She used to be Michelle's #1 fan and now... My thoughts are interrupted again when a pair of hands snake round my waist and her head presses against my bare shoulder while her body presses against my back. I didn't know you were awake now, baby. My voice resonates in the room and I feel her lips curl into a smile. I have been awake for a while now, Natalia answers. I heard everything you and Lucy talked about. I didn't expect Michelle to be that kind of a person. Her grip around me tightens. Now you know the kind of person she is. I don't say anything but a certain thought is lingering in my head. I didn't expect Michelle to be such a person. Even if I am no longer with her, can she not keep her dignity at least? The more I think about it, the more furious I get. I was with a cheat for 3 years. We should go back to bed, Nicholas, Natalia says again. You kept taking me and now my legs are tired. I want to hug you to sleep. My lips curl into a small smirk and I turn to face her. A pout is gracing her lips and I chuckle. Natalia can be cute when she wants to. I have some things to take care of in the pack house. I have to go there. Did something happen? I nod while walking back into the room. Some wolf hunters were caught. I have to meet them myself. Oh, she lowers herself on the bed again. You should go then. I am tired, so I will take some rest. Sure. I press a kiss on her lips before venturing into the bathroom. As the water pours down on my body, the words of Lucy become fresh in my head again. The Michelle I know is not that kind of a person, no matter how I look at it. She is the most pure person ever, just that I prefer her sister to her. How did she get a man so soon? How did she become acquainted with a man? The more I keep thinking about it, the more I feel furious. Is she trying to erase me from her life completely? You let her go first, my wolf says, but I completely ignore it as the water continues to splash all over my body, leaving me to my own thoughts and emotions. I don't know how come, but here I am standing in front of the hotel receptionist trying to find out if she has already checked out. Her driver told me about her hotel and her room. I just don't want to barge in there. Maybe I am not ready to meet her new lover yet. She hasn't checked out yet, sir. The receptionist finally looks up from her computer. Should I call her and tell her about? Not to worry, I cut her off. I will go on my own. I didn't lie about having something to do at the pack house, but Natalia is not aware that I am here to see my ex-wife and my rejected mate. In no time, I am standing in front of her door ready to knock. Should we really be doing this? My wolf asks again. I have to know what she is up to, I tell myself, and with this at the back of my head, I gently knock on the door, and now we wait. Enzo, you. Her voice reached my ear and she throws the door open immediately, but the words hang in her mouth the moment she sees I am not this Enzo guy but Nicholas. Enzo? Hey. I can't help but ask. Really? Michelle is still silent. Her eyes are on me, and for the first time since I knew her, she has no emotions emanating from her. Michelle's POV. When the knock came on the door, my heart skipped a beat. I actually thought Enzo came back after the stunt he pulled. How can he kiss me like that, and worst of all, I didn't even push him away. I allowed him to kiss me for as long as he wanted before I finally pushed him away and sent him off. Maybe he is the one by the door and I am ready to give him a piece of my mind, but as soon as I fling the door open, I freeze. It is not Enzo but Nicholas. How did he know my room number, and why is he in front of my door? My eyes darken at the sight of him, the nerve of him to show up in front of me after what he did to me. Nicholas. His name rolls out of my lips. Why are you here? Enzo. He asks me, is that who you are seeing now? My forehead curves up. How does he know about Enzo? Oh, Lucy must have told him, but even at that, did he even have the right to stand in front of me and ask me about a man he doesn't even know? You must have had him on the side, and that's why you didn't throw enough tantrums when I gave you the divorce papers, Michelle. What? My mood turns sour. I must have had him on the side? Can you even listen to yourself? I ask him again. You come to my hotel room and tell me I must have had him on the side. Does he touch you more than I do? Nicholas begins to take slow steps towards me. Does he make you scream more than I do? Does he feel better than mine? Now he is standing directly in front of me and I gulp. My heart skips a beat and continues to beat fast against my rib cage. What exactly are you talking about? These are the only words I can utter from my mouth. I can't lie, he still has a hold over me, and I can safely say Nicholas is trying to use that power over me. He knows how much I loved him and how much he affects me. Nicholas knows it all. By now he has me trapped between him and the door, making it impossible for me to move away from him as his huge frame continues to tower above me. Tell me, Michelle. His voice jolts me out of my reverie of thoughts again, and I can't even say a word, not when I am unable to think properly. Notice something off? Take me back to the time when Nicholas and I were still together. I would have pounced into his embrace and kissed him, but right now he is someone I don't even know. I cannot even think of him as someone that I once knew. Does he touch you like I do? His hand snakes around my waist and I gulp. You are too close for comfort, Nicholas, I finally find my voice and gently move away from him, and you shouldn't be here in the first place. I do not appreciate it, but Enzo can come here. What exactly is your problem? I flare up. What do you want from me? Why are you here? What gives you the right to even speak to me? Temper. Temper. My wolf advised me, and I let out a heavy and frustrated sigh. Getting agitated is not good for me or the baby either. I think you should leave, Nicholas. You seem to be forgetting that I am still the alpha of your pack and a pack you ostracized me from. I half yell while trying to control the tears that are threatening to fall out of my eyes. The same pack you threw me out of. I am sorry, but I am no longer a member of your pack. I will rather live like a human than a wretched wolf. So please, in 1 week you have become so strong, haven't you? He gently tucks a few strands of my hair to the back of my ear, his fingers sending a shiver down my spine. Just get lost, Nicholas. This time I yell at the top of my lungs. I do not want to see you, neither do I wish to speak with you. One question, Michelle. His gaze drops. Did you cheat on me with him before our divorce? I scoff. Is he kidding me right now? How can he even ask me such a question? How can Nicholas look me in the eyes and ask me this kind of a question? Answer me, Mish. I will not be answering that question. A slight pain tug at my stomach and my hand immediately cup my tummy in a protective manner. I just hope my baby is safe. This act of mine did not go unnoticed by Nicholas, and I see how his forehead creases into a frown. What are you not telling me, Michelle? By now he is face to face with me, his huge frame towering above me. Look, Nicholas, I press my hands against my waist. I am in no mood to exchange words with you. We are done, so you shouldn't care about what I do, just like I do not care about what you do. It must be his touch. Hey. His lips curl into a mocking smirk as he yanks me closer and traps me between himself and the bed. You have always been shameless. I just didn't know it. You brought your ex-girlfriend, who happens to be my elder sister, into our home, our pack, and I am the shameless one. I scoff. Tell me something I do not know, Nicholas. I shove him off and move away from his grasp. I am beginning to get too angry and upset. How dare he? He broke my heart and has the nerve to stand in front of me and question me. We no longer have a bond, Nicholas, I tell him. Our bond broke the day you decided to be a shameless alpha and bring in your ex. You do not have that right to talk about being shameless to me right now. I no longer care what he does. He can kill me or make me miserable, but I will no longer allow him to treat me like trash. All I ever did was love him, but what did I get in return? Lies and deceit. You know your way out of my room, Nicholas. Not waiting for what he has to say, I turn around and walk into the bathroom. Looking at him, I just realize how ordinary he looks. The only thing about him is his ruthlessness, but even with that, Enzo surpasses him. At the thought of Enzo, I chuckle lightly. I have only known him for a day and I am already comparing him to a man was married to for 3 years and known for more. I am not sure for how long I am in the bathroom, but finally, I hear the door close behind him and his footsteps die away from the marble floor. No, I am not going to cry. He didn't even have a remorseful expression, he was nothing. At this moment, I wish the moon goddess will take away his alpha power and leave him for dead. You are so angry, my wolf tells me, and I close my eyes for a moment. Anger is not something I should be proud of. Especially not when my baby and I are in danger. I just close my eyes and press my head against the wall, allowing the water to slowly flow down my body and wet my clothes. The time is already past 7 and I am getting ready for bed. The day has been the most hectic for me and I just want to crawl into my bed and sleep. I have long pushed the thoughts of Nicholas and Enzo to the back of my head. I am not even in the right frame of mind to even entertain any other thoughts aside from my baby's health now. My musing is cut short when my mobile begins to beep. Seeing the caller ID, my heart skips a beat. I don't even remember giving him my phone number, so how did he get it? No matter how much I think about it, Enzo is just something else. The fact that he kissed me is still lingering in my head and I cannot get over it, and now he is calling me. The phone continues to ring non-stop and with an eye roll, I finally pick up the phone before pressing it against my ear. "Hello, were you sleeping?" I can hear the sarcasm in his voice. "Your light is still on though." My heart skips another beat. How did he know? How do? "Come outside, Michelle," he cuts me off. "You are craving something spicy, right? I got you some cabbage with extra spicy sauce since you are a vegetarian." My hand drops to my side in awe. How in the moon goddess's name does he know only what Nicholas knows? Enzo's POV. As soon as I drop the call, my lips curl into smirk while my attention is drawn to the leather bag on the passenger's seat. After I left her house earlier, I went back to Dr. Mandy to know a few more things about her, and with my own intuition, I was able to decipher a lot about her. My kid sister, who is 6 years younger than me, is also a vegetarian wolf. She could hunt down thousands of prey in one night, but on the days when she is in her human form, Izzy hates meat. The moment I got close to Michelle, I knew that was her kind of person. And for her salad? I genuinely do not know how I got to know about it. It just clicked my mind and I got it. Was my wolf sense becoming more extreme? I thought only wolves who are fated to each other could know what the other person is thinking. My thoughts are interrupted when I see her walking towards me clad in a knitted scarf and a loose pair of pants, which does not do enough justice hiding her hourglass figure. Her hair is pulled up in a messy bun and she looks tired. My eyes darken at the sight of that. Was she sleeping or did something happen for her to look like this? With each step she took towards me, the furrow on my brows intensifies. As soon as Michelle comes to a halt in front of me, she folds her hands across her chest, but she doesn't say anything. "You were definitely not sleeping," I say to her. "How did you get my number?" She asks me with a sarcastic tone in her voice. "Are you perhaps stalking me, Dr. Enzo? What happened?" I clearly ignore her. "Why do you look so tired? Did something happen when I was gone? And who are you to ask me that?" She blurts, "You act like you know me when you don't." Get in the car. I can no longer stop myself and I see a confused look flash across her face. "What do you mean get in the car?" I don't know if it is this hotel or the fact that you think too much, but I feel something happens every time I leave for a moment. Did that weird Lucy come back? Michelle is silent for a moment. Her eyes are still lingering on me and I know she has a lot of questions. I also have a lot of questions about how I care so much about someone I met a few hours ago. How I am able to just know things about her. I have a lot of questions, but she is not the one for me to ask. She is not in the position to answer any of my questions, but before I get an answer to all of my questions, I will make sure to keep her by my side. In all my 30 years of existence, I haven't seen a woman who is in so much pain like the lady in front of me. She looks like she has the weight of the world on her shoulders, and for some odd reasons, I want to numb that pain. I scoff at myself as all these thoughts continue to roam around in my head. Was I being serious right now? What do you mean get into the car? Her voice jolts me out of my reverie and I let out a small sigh. I know she is going to throw a tantrum because of what I said. Should I enunciate every word for you, Michelle? I said get in the car. You will spend a night at my hotel. I will send someone to get your stuff and bring them over to the airport tomorrow morning. Is that too hard for you to understand? Can you listen to yourself? She uncrosses her hands from her chest. What makes you think I want to even go with you? Who are you even to just barge into my life and act like we are acquainted? She is getting agitated and it is visible on her face. Because of you, Nicholas. Her voice trails off when she realizes what she is about to say, but I already have a hang of the situation. Her ex-husband's name must be Nicholas and I am sure he heard about me from that ugly-looking Lucy your ex-husband asked about me. I ask her. It is none of your business. You shouldn't come close to me anymore. Do you think I wanna do this? I am suddenly vexed. Do you think I want to stand in front of a hotel with a bag of spicy salad to give to a vegetarian wolf because I am madly in love with her? I shake my head in the opposite direction. Of course not, Michelle, and let's not get started about the fact that you think I am coming close to you few hours after I met you. Beside, you are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. I have been with a lot of women, but you are obviously more prettier and more curvy, but that doesn't mean that's why I am hovering around you, Michelle. I move closer to her and encircle her waist in my hands. Our faces only inches apart and I gulp at the sight of her plump lips. It's not me, sweetheart, I tell her almost in a whisper. It's my wolf. It keeps drawing me to you. It keeps thinking about you and just knowing things. Enzo, you. I immediately press my index finger over her lip and stop her from talking. I know this is creepy, but please, Michelle. But you have to trust me. I am not going to hurt you. At least until I know what is going on with me. Just please come with me. But I don't even need you. Your baby needs the help of my doctor friends, so technically I shrug. You need me just as much as I need you until I get over this madness of mine. I pull her closer again. Please, I whisper over her hair. Get in the car, sweetness. After what seems like ages, she finally disengages from me with a frown on my face. Before that, how did you know I was craving salad, and how did you know I don't like meat when I am in my human form? For the cravings, I just knew it. I am not lying, by the way. It just happened. And for the vegetarian part, I kind of guessed it. Izzy hates meat. Her forehead creases into a slight frown. Izzy, my kid sister, did you do a background check on me? Michelle asks again, this time crossing her hands over her chest again, and I can't help but roll my eyes. For the love of the moon goddess, Michelle, I am already frustrated with all of her questions. Get in the car, kitten. Michelle's POV. I don't know exactly why I trust the words of Enzo so much, but there is something about him. Something that makes me trust him even if I haven't known him for a day. I am not sure what it is and what it could be, but deep inside my mind, I know I can no longer go back to the time when I didn't know him. In no time, I am sitting on the passenger seat of his black Audi, which he speeds through the busy night of the city. This is the first time I am actually observing the city I have lived in for years, and it really looks beautiful. All my life, I just preferred staying at the pack house with Aunt after my parents died, and I only came into the main city when I needed something and I go back immediately. I never for once stopped to admire the city I lived in, maybe because I have lived a sheltered life all my life, but looking at it now, I realize how much I have missed, how much I should have known but I couldn't. Even after my parents died, Nicholas continued to protect me and I never had the chance to admire this place. The night lights, the sound of cars and trains, the fresh air. Everything becomes one with me and my face breaks into a small smile. Maybe I actually need this to feel better. You have a dreamy look in your eyes. His voice filters into my ear and I jolt out of my thoughts, my forehead creasing into a frown in the process. Haven't you toured the city before? He asks again. You look like you haven't. Why don't you quit talking? My voice trails off when a sharp pain hits my lower abdomen and I immediately let out a painful scream, making Enzo bring the car to a sudden stop. What happened? I can't continue with my words. The pain is getting more intense and more severe. It feels like my entire stomach is being ripped apart. My baby, these are the only words I can mutter as tears well up in my eyes as the pain continues to intensify. Not bothering to say anything again, Enzo jacks the car back to life and speeds off. With each passing minute, the pain intensifies so much that I can see my life flash before my eyes. Maybe I could even die before Enzo reaches the hospital, but despite my pain, I can see how madly he is driving. For a moment I can see a frightened look on his face and how I wish Nicholas is the one who has that look on his face for me. Easy, he tells me as he glances at me for a second. You will be fine. I close my eyes and continue to press down on my tummy, hoping to reduce the pain, but it is not helping, not even in the slightest. In a few minutes, we arrive at the hospital and Enzo speeds out of the car before gathering me up in his hands and rushing into the hospital. At this moment, everything becomes pitch black. I gently push my eyelids open and a silent gasp leaves my lips. I don't even bother wondering where I am. I have become too familiar with the hospital wall for the past few days now, but what piques my curiosity is the man seated beside me with an expressionless look on his face. Enzo looks like he has been drenched by the rain and I cannot help but wonder why. I try pushing myself to a sitting position, but he holds onto my hand and shakes his head in the negative. You are not strong enough to move around yet, he tells me. Rest for a while. What did the doctor say? I ask him and he lets out a heavy sigh. Can't you just get rid of the pregnancy? It is causing a lot of problems for you. The tumor is growing by the day and that was the reason for the pain earlier. No, I immediately tell him. I am not getting rid of the pregnancy and that's final for a while. Enzo is silent but his gaze continues to linger on me. I am sure he has a lot to say but he decides against it. I have booked an appointment for you with my friend. Enzo begins to speak again. You will meet him once we get to Los Angeles. I have already explained your situation to him and had Dr. Mandy send your details him. Thank you are the only words that comes out of my mouth. I am too stressed and scared right now. I do not want to lose my baby no matter what. That is the only thing that makes me feel like I was once a wife and a Luna. I shake my head to rid myself of such thoughts. No more negative thinking. My attention is drawn back to Enzo when his mobile begins to beep and seeing how his gaze darkens at the sight of the caller ID, a kind of feeling engulfs me. That could be his mate or even his girlfriend, so why is he not picking the call? I continue to stare back at him as his attention remains on the phone until he purposely ends the call and raises his gaze to meet mine. Why aren't you answering? It's not important, he answers blandly and I can feel the anger emanating from him. But you don't know what the person has to say, you should have. It was a one-night thing, she needn't call me, he blurts out and I gulp. he doesn't even try to hide the fact that he is a ladies' man. I remember him mentioning he has been with a lot of ladies. You must be the hot cake back at Los Angeles then. I try to joke around but his gaze darkens the more, he looks really upset. Don't get yourself worked up with that and just focus on getting better, he tells me again as his face relaxes. That's what a red flag would say, but I am not a red flag though, he retorts, and I can prove that. What do you mean? I am clean. You know, a smirk is tugging at the edge of his lips. I can't lie about the fact that I have been with a lot of women, but I am clean. I cough when I realize what he is trying to say. How can he be so vague and so upfront? I don't mean it in that way, and it is none of my business if you are clean or not. I actually do not care. Of course you do. His gaze becomes sleazy, because maybe in a week or two, I could be with you, so you should be concerned if I am clean or not. His statement makes my heart skip a beat. He really is so daring, but that one sweet thing about the man I met a few hours ago. You should leave. I try to change the topic. I need some rest. About that, he glances at his watch for a brief moment before returning his gaze to me. I decided to move our flight backwards, so we will be leaving in 2 hours. My eyes open wide as saucers. How can he make such decisions for me in my absence? What exactly is he trying to prove by just doing all this? The mere thought of it makes a frown appear on my face. Isn't he doing too much? You keep acting like we have known each other since time past. That's just me trying to take you far away from Nicholas. Mish, he answers sincerely, and you know I mean that. I swallow hard and turn my attention from him. This is not supposed to be happening. How can someone I met some hours ago become such a huge part of my life? I didn't even know his last name, so how am I so comfortable with him? Shouldn't you be thanking me for a job well done? I hear a familiar voice in my head, a voice that I haven't heard in a while. This can only mean one thing: she sees and knows everything that is happening to me. I scoff. I must look like a joke now. You believe me now, don't you? His voice penetrates my ear again, and I abruptly turn my head to his direction again. The bond is extraordinarily strong, he further adds with a wink that sends my heart fluttering. Enzo's POV. I see how Michelle's face gets red and I scoff. She is just too funny even on a hospital bed. Earlier, when that pain enveloped her, fear actually gripped me and I lost all sense of reasoning, but seeing her smiling and joking around now, I feel a lot better. I actually don't know what the moon goddess is planning, but the lady in front of me is definitely something else, something I would like to get closer to more than this, and I am going to make sure of that. Her pain, her heartache, her sadness, and her anxiety, I want to get rid of everything and anything that makes her sad and upset. Stop staring at me like that, Michelle says after a while. I don't want to be too close to you. I chuckle lightly. I love the fact that she is trying to act hard to get. It makes me want to be around her the more. My mobile begins to ring again and the look on her face changes, which makes my smirk widen. Is she being jealous right now? Thinking about it, it kind of makes me feel good that she is feeling jealous even though I just met her some hours ago. Won't you pick your call again? Michelle asks again and another chuckle leaves my lips. You think it is another woman, don't you? Like I said, I do not care about you or your escapades. You can do as you please. The smirk on my lips intensify as I click on the receive button and put the phone on loudspeaker. Boss Xavier's voice resonates in the room and a slight frown appears on Michelle's face. Xavier is my right-hand man, the one who does everything in my absence, and as sad as it is, he is also my sister's fated mate. That kind of built a love and hate relationship between us because as Izzy's brother, it is a taboo for me to like her man. This is a law that the humans have imbibed and we decided to imbibe it too. It is kind of fun. Why did you call? I ask him as my gaze darkens. I will soon be on my way, so why do you keep calling? Boss Xavier starts to talk again. Hakeem and Melissa have been taken by the Blood Clan on the guise that they were both found in their territory. All forms of negotiation has proved impossible, and that's why I decided to call you. At the mention of the Blood Clan, my blood begins to boil. The Blood Clan and the Nightshade Clan, which happens to be my pack, has been at loggerheads for the longest time, right from the beginning of everything, and I will not be the one to end the squabble. In fact, shedding their blood brings me immense pleasure and joy. I will not miss that for anything. Not to worry, Diego does not have the balls to hurt anyone from my pack. I immediately end the call and punch in a few numbers again before pressing the phone against my ear. Diego answers the call immediately and his annoying voice filters into my ear. I knew you were going to call, Enzo. It seems you have forgotten what I did to your sister a month ago, Diego. I tell him as my angry voice intensifies. You have forgotten how I trapped her into a coma because of your own incompetence. Do not make me come for your pack members too. Michelle's gaze is on me and I can see how a surprised and confused look is lingering on it. I am quite aware of what is going on in her mind. I know her too well now. You made a mistake touching my sister, and I will make sure to send your member's body to you torn into shreds by my ruthless betas. This is me calling you a bastard, and I am going to make you pay for that. I have been waiting for the perfect opportunity, and this is it. Enzo, his statement makes me laugh. How can an alpha-level wolf challenge me in this way? You have got some nerve, Diego. My looks darken again. You must think of yourself as an equal to me since you are now an alpha-level wolf. Do not forget, you are a rogue wolf and you do not have a place at my table. What I did to your sister is just the tip of the iceberg. If you do not return Hakeem and Melissa before I get back to Los Angeles, I swear by the moon goddess that I will make you pay. I will make you crawl before me and do the unthinkable. Do not mess with me. Not waiting for his response, I immediately end the call and the smirk on my face returns while Michelle's face looks expressionless. What? I shrug. Why are you looking at me like that? Did you really do that? Am I not in affirmation? I did what you heard. Michelle goes silent. She must be wondering what kind of a person I am, and I am glad to tell her. One thing about me, I do not hide my identity from anyone, no matter who they are. I love my freedom and I love it to the fullest. Why would you do that? She finally finds her voice, and for a moment I see a disgusted look on her face. You are a wolf, Michelle. I am sure you have seen your alpha do some very nasty things in order to show the world that he can be as ruthless. To me, Diego is still a child, and that's why I didn't kill his sister, but since he has decided to roll the dice, we can as well play. I love to play, but I know my limits. But I shush her before gently taking a hold of her hand. You do not need to worry yourself about all that, Michelle. I tell her, I will handle the ruthless part and you can sit pretty and enjoy the show. You are a psychopath, Enzo, she blurts, and I laugh before pushing my body out of the chair. It took years of hard torture and pain for me to get to this level. I am not only a psychopath, baby. I caress her cheek gently. I am way worse than you even imagine, but not to worry. I promise you won't have to see that side of me after I am done. I grab her knitted scarf and drip it over her shoulder before bending towards her. Our faces were only inches apart, and how I want to claim those lips of hers yet again. Calm down, I say to myself, and I chuckle to myself. The last few hours have surely been the most memorable moments for me. What do you think you are doing? We should get going now. The plane will arrive soon, I tell her and glance at my wristwatch. And for the record, I am sorry we have to use a public plane. My jet is under maintenance and I cannot wait any further here. You need to see a doctor, so we are leaving now. She looks sad as she asks me the question, and I am guessing she is thinking of Nicholas again. I clench my teeth at the thought of that. I am directly in front of her and she is thinking of that ball-less man? Are you thinking about him? I can't stop myself from asking her. Do you want him to walk through that door and tell you not to go? Stop jumping into conclusions, she half yells then. Agree already, I blurt while raking my fingers through my wavy hair. I have been asking you for the longest of time now. Why do you keep pushing me around? You? Her voice trails off when her eyes travel down my chest and rests on the tattoo on my chest. It is beautiful, Michelle unknowingly says. Immediately, I grab a hold of my shirt and yank it off my body, making her gasp in surprise. Now my upper body is bare before her and Michelle has the wildest look on her face. You want to look right? I ask her, my gaze intensifying. You can look as much as you want, Michelle, if we go back to Los Angeles. I can even walk around for you if you so wish. She cringes out before withdrawing her hand away from me. What kind of a doctor are you? Michelle spits out, her face creasing into a more disgusted look. The doctor that can doctor your heart, I tell her and move close to her. You want me to walk around for you? I press my hand against the small of her back. Of course I will. Not waiting for her response, I gather her up in my hand almost immediately and I see her gulp. Now you be quiet, I whisper into her ear. The car is waiting outside for us. With this I make my way out of the room shirtless with a dumbfounded Michelle in my arms. Natalia's POV. Nicholas has been gone for most part of the day because of the wolf hunters that were caught a day ago. Life at the pack house was getting better and everything was on track. This was the life I wanted, this was the life for me. The life that my little sister stole from me. Speaking of little sister, I had asked someone to find her for me, but no one knows where she went, and that was better. It was a good thing that she disappeared from our lives for good. I couldn't stand her anyways. Now under the tainting sun of the city, I am seated at the foot of the swimming pool with a bottle of champagne beside me and my favorite music blaring from unseen stereos when one of the workers walks up to me with a slight bow. Someone is here to see you, Luna, she announces, and my forehead creases into a slight frown. I am not expecting anyone and Nicholas is not back yet, that I am sure of. So who has come to see me at this time? Who is it? I ask her again, who has come to see me at this hour? I glance at the wall clock and it is a few minutes past 2 in the afternoon. Your aunt, Luna, she answers, and my gaze turns sour. My aunt has come to see me? The same woman who has never cared about me and always took Michelle's side, that same aunt? I badly want to laugh. How dare she try to show her face in front of me? Let her in, I finally tell her, and she bows before leaving again. In a few minutes, I see the so-called aunt walking towards me, and as usual she has an expressionless look on her face. The same kind of look she has had since the day my parents died. I always thought she was going to change, but seeing her now, I know that I am not in the wrong for hating her when everything that I have got. I wasn't expecting you to come and congratulate me personally for coming back to the pack and becoming the new Luna after your favorite niece has gone. You and I know that I am not here to congratulate you, Natalia, the old woman blurts in anger. How could you do such a wicked thing to your own younger sister, Natalia? How could you break her home in such a way? Watch your tone, I half yell as I pull my legs out of the swimming pool. You do not come into my house and speak to me in that tone, do you hear me? You might be the Luna, but I am still your aunt and I deserve some respect from you. Respect. I begin to walk towards her with a wicked smile hovering over my face. The last time I checked, you never acknowledged me as your niece, so why should I accord you with the respect that you do not even deserve? Now I am standing face to face with her and my gaze intensifies. The nerve of her to come into my house and speak to me in such a manner. Look, dear aunt, you should just focus on your work at the pack house and let me be. The next time you come to me, I won't be so nice. You should be ashamed of yourself for doing this to someone you call your own sister. You should be. Her voice trails off when I grab her neck and push her against the wall, my eyes turning amber in the process. At this point, my wolf is threatening to burst out of me and tear her into 1,000 tiny pieces. Look, dear aunt, I tighten my grip on her. Don't make me angry or I will send your dead body to wine and dine with my parents and the moon goddess. I am not Michelle and I am not very nice. Blood is already seeping out of my claws, which is beginning to dig deep into her neck, and the sight of it makes me content. I love when I see people close to Michelle in pain and struggling. Right now the old lady looks like a feeble woman which is at my mercy. I can kill her and still go scot-free. For 3 years I watched Michelle enjoy everything I worked for. For 3 years she was with the man I loved, but you didn't dare to caution her because she is your favorite niece after all. But not anymore. Her eyes are beginning to turn red and she looks like she is about to give up the ghost. I can't help but pity her. After a while, I finally let go of her neck and she falls limply to the ground, making me scoff. Such a weak and feeble old woman dared to come to me? Look, aunt, I still respect you because you actually took me in when my parents died, and that's why I am not going to kill you today. Go back to the pack house and pretend like we don't even know each other, and the next time you come in front of me again, I will make sure to feed your body to the wolves of our rival packs. I don't bother to wait for her response before turning around and walking away. She has succeeded in making me angry and I no longer feel like swimming and listening to my favorite music. When I finally hear Nicholas's car drive into the house, I don't wait for him to enter the house before rushing to meet him and throwing myself into his embrace. His scent and everything helps to always calm me down, and that is one of the reasons why I am madly in love with him. Nicholas knows how to make me happy no matter what. He also envelopes me in his embrace and presses a kiss on my forehead. Why are you upset? He asks me and my lips curl into a smile. This man sure knows everything going on with me. Nothing, babe, I whisper, still in his embrace. I am just stressed out. This pregnancy thing is not really easy. Nicholas pulls away from me and I can see a look of concern on his face. This look, I want him to have it for only me and no one else, not even my sister. You don't have to worry about anything, sweetheart. He cups my face in his large arms. Just take all the rest you need and I will take care of everything for you, really. My eyes light up. That means I have a request, then tell me. His hoarse voice urges me on. Anything for you. The smirk on my face intensifies. I have finally come up with a way to make my aunt pay for disrespecting me in the manner she did. She will wish she didn't. I want you to bring Aunt Louisa to work here at the mansion, I tell Nicholas. She is the closest thing I have to a family and I want her to be here with me and help with my pregnancy. Are you sure about that? Nicholas inquires, his unusual deep voice sending a shiver down my spine. If not that I am in love with the alpha male in front of me, I would actually be scared of his ruthless nature. Yes, I reply, and he turns to Seth, his right-hand man. Go to the pack house and bring Louisa, she will stay at the mansion from now. Yes boss. Seth bows and sets to work while he returns his attention back to me. Now you should cheer up my love, he tells me. You needn't feel insecure. I gulp. How did he know what I am thinking? Michelle is no longer in our lives, okay? I nod, and at that moment he gathers me up in his arms and makes his way back into the house, and at that moment, I can't help but admire the handsome face of the man I love. Michelle's POV. My mouth hangs open in awe as Enzo opens the car door for me. The mansion in front of me looks like something out of a fairy tale. Every detail, every extravagance is unique and I cannot help but marvel at it. The middle mist-red camellia gracing his front lawn catches my attention and I cannot help but be wowed. This flower is one of the rarest flowers and Enzo has it in abundance, and not to mention the beautiful mansion that looks like a chapel. The one who designed this house must have spent years coming up with the best design. You look impressed. His voice filters into my ear and I jolt out of my reverie of thought before turning my head towards him. My eyes didn't miss the smirk on his lips. He looks proud. The house is really beautiful, I tell him. Of course I am impressed. This is the only building you will ever find like this, Michelle, he tells me. One of a kind. My eyes catch the attention of the two people walking towards us and the striking resemblance meets me. That surely is Izzy. Welcome back, brother. Her face breaks into a smile. I was beginning to think Michelle has kept you captive in that city. A slight frown appears on my forehead. How did she even know about me? Did Enzo tell her? She turns to me and flashes me a smile and I can't help but admire her. She really is pretty. The outright version of her brother. We all have been expecting you, Michelle, Izzy tells me. Enzo has told me everything I need to know about you. It is a shame that any man will want to leave you. I mean, her smile widens. You are an epitome of beauty and grace. I really like you. I don't even know what to say. Enzo must have told her a lot about me. And it is even more disgusting that he one of us. We should hunt him down and hang him on a stake. Her statement makes me laugh. Truly, an apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She behaves just like her brother. And this, she turns to the man beside him. This is my mate and my lover. His name is Xavier. Nice to meet you all, I say to them. Since my early days, this is the first time I am meeting a pack whose members are nice to you on the very first day. Even Nicholas's pack, everyone walks with their nose in the air. I love the free spirit around this place. Why don't I show you to your room? Enzo finally chips in. You need to take a shower and some rest. You do that, Izzy tells him. We will be waiting for you in your study. We need to talk after that. She and Xavier walk away, leaving the two of us. They are the only two people I have seen, and from the look of things, no one is around anymore. Enzo must have noticed the curious look on my face because he pulls towards me and drapes his huge hand over my frail figure, making me jolt almost immediately. He never misses an opportunity to cringe me out. I live here alone, he announces, and I am shocked. Izzy and Xavier live a few blocks away from here and the pack house is just down the road. Each pack member is allowed to live his or her life on their own terms. We only come together when we need to. The world is changing, we don't need to cluster together in an old-looking house like some refugees. I can't help but laugh. Truly his own ideology is different from others. And moreover, there are more important things to do than being a wolf and hunting down prey, yet. We begin to walk slowly into the house. You can say I am a rock star alpha. I laugh again. He is too hilarious to ignore, but I know these kinds of people well enough. They are one of the most ruthless and the most dangerous people on earth. I have seen Nicholas's brutality on another level, and I know Enzo will be worse. I can feel it in my bones. He laughs so much just to hide what is brewing inside of him. I know this too well. I don't say anything again until we enter the house again, and I am loud yet again. The exteriors are nothing compared to the extravagance of the interior. It looks like a British royal castle with two vertical staircases opposite each other, and let's not get started on the golden chandelier hanging from the ceiling and the beautiful artworks that grace the walls. Every single piece in the spacious living room screams of luxury. How rich is Enzo to be able to afford such luxury? I can't even lie, even if Nicholas was filthy rich, he cannot compare to Enzo because what? Surprised? I must say I am. I answer with a shrug. This is nothing, my darling, he tells me as a smile appears on his face again. You shouldn't look so surprised, your house is so extravagant. I answer. I must say you must be filthy rich. I am not one to brag, my darling. A smug look appears on his face. Yours is just to enjoy the luxury of my life, and I will do the rest. Come with me. He leads me towards another part and presses a button. An elevator opens and we both enter. Your room is on the 3rd floor, and I don't want you taking the stairs since you are pregnant. You must never take the stairs, okay? He warns me sternly as his gaze darkens. You must always take the elevator and make sure to be careful. The floor is marble and I don't want you getting hurt. For a brief moment I wish it was Nicholas standing beside me and giving me all these instructions. How can someone I met just a day ago make me feel the love that Nicholas couldn't give me for the past 3 years? I cannot lie. Nicholas showed me the true meaning of love. He cherished me, but seeing everything Enzo has been doing since I fainted beside his car made everything Nicholas did seem so little. I gulp and jolt out of my reverie of thought. I shouldn't be thinking about Nicholas at a time like this. He is not even worth it. After a few minutes, the elevator comes to a stop and we both walk out. Another form of extravagance greets me. I cannot even react anymore. This is just too much for me. Enzo must be a really big deal around here. The moment we get to the first door, he opens it and ushers me into the room, and I am amazed again. Everything is just so beautiful and so Michelle-like. How did he even know? I had the whole room remodeled to your liking, Enzo announces. How did you know what I like? My eyes travel round the room again and stop at the full-size library and the window facing it. It gives some kind of eerie feeling like I am in a fantasy world. I really love it. I just figured out, he says, and don't ask me because I cannot answer that question yet, he further adds with a wink. I don't bother to say anything again because I know I won't get the answer I want. I just let him do as he wants. So take a shower and some rest. I will make you dinner after I speak to Izzy and Xavier about something. Is it about Diego? I can't help but ask him. My curiosity took the better of me. Did you really do that to his sister? A smile appears on his face again, but it doesn't reach his eyes. Only his lips curve up. What do you think, princess? He tucks a few strands of my hair to the back of my ear and a cold shiver runs down my spine. I could show you how I did it now on this bed, what do you say? He further adds, and I gulp before moving away from him. This man is bad for me. I think you should leave now. I finally find my voice. I don't really care about you or Diego. Enzo laughs again, he must find this very funny. Take some rest, princess. He caresses my hand gently, and if you need me, just give me a call. With a wink, he turns around and walks out of the room, leaving me to my thoughts. This man will surely be the death of us, my wolf says inside me, and I immediately nod. He will surely be the death of me at this point. Heaving in and out for a few seconds, my face breaks into a small smile as the thought of Enzo winds its way into my mind again. Enzo's POV. After I leave Michelle alone in the room, I briskly make my way towards the study. Izzy and Xavier are already waiting for me, and the look on both faces tells me this is more than an abduction. Diego wants me to unleash my full wrath and he will not like it. She settled in fine? Izzy asks as I lower myself on my favorite reclining chair, whom I answer with a nod before turning to Xavier. Tell me everything that happened. Hakeem and Melissa had gone to the mall and that's when it happened. Here he drops his phone in front of me. Diego sent me the video. I pick up the phone and look at the video. My eyes darken at the sight of it. From the look of things, Diego has planned this for a long time now after what happened some weeks ago. What do you think we should do, Enzo? Izzy asks me. We cannot leave Hakeem and Melissa with them. Those two are part of our best soldiers. I will talk to Avra. I finally answer and her forehead creases into a frown. You want to talk to Avra? Izzy asks me. She is the main cause of this problem and you want to call her. I don't think that will be necessary, boss. Xavier chips in. Avra is the main cause of this crisis. The both of you don't need to worry about that. I tell them. This will be the last time I will tolerate such nonsense from Diego. Fine, Izzy says, do as you please, but I will be ready to hunt down some praise if Diego fails to return them. After that, she stands up and the two of them walk out of the study, leaving me to myself. After they are gone, I pick up my phone and punch in a few numbers before pressing it against my ear. The person from the other end answers almost immediately. I have been expecting your call, Enzo. Her annoying voice filters into my ear. You and your brother are messing with the wrong person, Avra. I tell her, do not make me punish you in a way that will make you regret for the rest of your life. Tell Diego to release Hakeem and Melissa, then I won't have to burn your pack to the ground. You know you make me scared of you, Enzo. She continues, you are as sly as a fox. I will not make your death easy if you make me more angry than I already am. Avra, oh come on, Enzo. You and I know the main reason why Diego is fighting for your attention so hard. It has nothing to do with the relationship we once shared, and you know that. Have your brother release them, Avra. I warn her in a stern voice, or I will have no choice but to tell Diego about your dirty little secret and still burn your entire pack to the ground. Do not test my patience. My wolf is only sleeping, not dead. Not bothering to wait for her response, I click on the end button before slamming the phone on the table. The nerve of Diego to try to make himself available to me, and this time around, I will make him regret ever doing that. Picking up my phone again, I punch in a number and the person answers almost immediately. Boss Mustafa's voice penetrates my ears. Assign some betas to guard the house secretly and make sure they are the best of the best. Yes, boss. As I end the call, my mind drifts off to Michelle again and my face breaks into a smile. She is going to have my head on a platter if she finds out that I brought her in the middle of a war, but it cannot be helped. Everyone wants my attention and I have to give it. My door creaks open and Izzy saunters in again. Luckily she is not with Xavier anymore. I don't hate him but I don't like him either. I thought you left. I sent Xavier off, she responds while lowering herself on the chair opposite me. You must have talked to Avra, whom I nod as I press back against the chair. She will speak to Diego. I would prefer kicking some than talking to that. You know that, don't you? I nod again. Since Michelle is here, I just want to settle everything without bloodshed even if I hate it. I think you should tell Diego what really happened. He will definitely turn on his sister. I scoff. Is she kidding me right now? You think Diego cares about my escapades with Avra? I ask and I see Izzy's forehead crease into a slight frown. What do you mean? Look Izzy, I push forward again, my gaze on her. In the span of 5 years, I have massacred 3 alphas and taken over their packs. Diego doesn't care about Avra. He is just interested in getting my attention and challenging me to a fight. He has joined hands with the Moon Pack and Oregon Pack and they are forming an alliance. He is just using what happened to Avra as his cover-up. He knows I was drilling his sister long before now. A disgusting look appears on Izzy's face and I know why. Does Michelle know about your escapades? I am sure she will be cringing now at the mention of her name. I chuckle lightly. She just knows that I trapped Diego's sister into a coma. You sure want to keep your bad boy image up, yet. Michelle and I. My looks turn dreamy for a second. I think there is something there. You really surprised me, Enzo. Izzy tells me. I didn't expect this trip to be the one you find your mate. My eyes open wide for a moment. My mate won't manifest itself in such a way, and not to forget, I have done a lot of bad things. I don't think the moon goddess is considerate enough to give me a mate. Maybe it's my punishment for all my wrongdoings. Izzy heaves a sigh. She knows exactly what I am talking about. She has witnessed it firsthand. You still don't need to put yourself down, Enzo, she advises me. Who knows? After that she pulls her body out of the chair. At this I think I need to leave now. Xavier is waiting. I almost roll my eyes at her. Don't call his name in front of me. Suit yourself. Izzy winks at me and in no time she is out of the room, leaving me with my thoughts. My mind wanders off to Michelle again and a sigh leaves my lips. It is not possible for her to be my mate. The moon goddess is not that generous. Compared to me, she is heaven. She can't be blessed with someone like me. I am not even worth it. I have committed a lot of crimes. Michelle is too good for me and the last thing I want to do is hurt her. Pressing my head against the chair, I close my eyes. Knocking on the door gently, I push open the door and a scowl appears on my face when I can't find her, but my curiosity is soon settled when the bathroom door opens and Michelle saunters out with only a towel tied around her waist. At the sight of her, I gulp. The towel is hanging loosely over her body and the water dripping from her hair onto her body makes me clench my teeth together. This lady is surely going to be the end of me. As soon as she also sees me, she freezes right in her spot as her mouth opens to say something but decides against it. What are you doing here? Michelle asks, finally finding her voice. Couldn't you have knocked? I actually knocked, though. I force the words out of my mouth as my body starts to heat up. I don't know why my body is reacting this way to her. I think you should leave. I need to change. I am not looking, I tell her. Don't worry. Michelle rolls her eyes to the back of her head and my whole body throbs at the continuous sight of her. Now this is not good. this will definitely not end well. I have been trying to be a good boy since I saw her and now. You said you were going to make me dinner, Michelle says again after a while. I am hungry, how about you become my dinner instead? I start to slowly walk towards her, my wolf waiting in anticipation. Something is definitely drawing me to her, something I cannot place yet. Everything about her is making me intoxicated. I just want to hold her in my arms and maybe kiss her and sniff her scent. Do you feel it too? I rasp out. By now I am standing face to face with her. Do you feel what I am feeling? What? Her voice trails off when I snake my hand around her waist and yank her closer, and Michelle gasps in surprise. Gosh! She has the most intoxicating scent ever. None of the ladies I have been with had this kind of scent. I just want to eat her up and just... What exactly are you doing, Enzo? Her quivering voice resonates in the room as I gently rake my finger through her wet hair, her soft body pressing against mine. I am sorry in advance, Michelle, I whisper over her hair, and before she can even understand what I mean, I pull her close into a soft and gentle kiss while my whole body throbs in her embrace. Michelle's POV. As soon as Enzo kisses me, something reverberates over my body. I am not sure what is or what it signifies, but I am sure it is definitely something. Something that will change my entire life forever. I don't push him away, I allow him to hold onto me and deepen the kiss. Maybe this is what I need, to finally get rid of the thoughts of Nicholas away from my head. For 3 years, I stayed loyal to him, but he didn't bat an eyelid before getting my sister pregnant. I no longer care about him, and I am going to do me starting forward. With this at the back of my mind, I snake my hand around Enzo's torso and deepen the kiss. We continue to kiss and hold onto each other. His hand cups the small of my back and our tongues dance in sync. For a while, I am lost in his world. In the beautiful world he has shown me just in a day, and now for some reason, I want to remain in that world and allow him to take care of me in my mess. After a few seconds, Enzo slowly pulls away from me, but his hands are still on my waist and our faces are only a few inches apart. He has that look that I love so much, that one that shows that he cares for me and will do anything for me. That look that makes me forget I have only known him for a day. You kissed me back. His husky voice filters into my ear. I was thinking you would. I don't allow him to finish his statement before crashing my lips against him again. Enzo definitely understands the assignment because he gathers me up in his arms almost immediately and secures me on his body. My towel has come loose and my bare body is pressing against his chest, but I don't care. It's not like I am trying to hide anything from him. With me still on his body, Enzo holds my head in one place as our tongues dance against each other until I can feel the metallic taste of blood in my mouth, and that is when he stops kissing me again, but I am still secured on his body. Now you are making me all hard for you, Michelle, he whispers into my ear while tucking a few strands of my wet hair to the back of my ear. Are you sure you won't regret this? Will you regret it? I ask him back, and his eyes darken for a moment before his face breaks into a smile. This he rasps out, his voice hasty and full of need, and he claims my lips again before walking towards the bed. With our lips still intertwined, Enzo lays me down on the bed and gets on top of me, my legs crossed over his waist and my bare body visible to him. His hand is roaming around my body as his lips continue to work wonders on mine. After kissing me for a while, he gently begins to trail kisses over my body until he takes my right boob in his mouth and I groan while grabbing a handful or his hair. Enzo uses his tongue to tease me to the point where I can already feel my juice dripping out of me. When I don't expect it, he bites down and a scream of pleasure leaves my mouth, but before I can even recover from this, his hand gradually travels down my body. I unconsciously close my legs and Enzo stops. He presses a kiss on my chest before pushing away from me. "Are you scared?" he asks me. "No," I answer after a while. "I am not." "Of course you are." His face breaks into a small smile. "Your body is literally vibrating underneath me right now." "I am just nervous," I tell him. "Do I make you nervous?" "No," I respond to him, "it's just my body." With the smile still on his face, Enzo presses a kiss on my forehead. Gently he uses the towel to cover my body again before falling on the bed beside me. For a while none of us says anything. I have a lot going through my mind and I don't even know what to do. Everything is just so different with the man beside me. "Have you been with any man aside from your ex-husband?" His voice filters into my ear again. "No, that must be why you are scared." He turns over and faces me again. "You are scared of being touched by someone like me who has been with a lot of women." It's not that I gulp as my eyes travel over his face and I can't help but marvel at how handsome he is. His dark brown eyes complements his well-sculpted face and his long wavy hair makes him look like someone straight out of a painting, and let's not get started on his thin yet soft lips. Enzo is an epitome of beauty, I cannot lie, and to crown it all, his physique is just amazing. In front of him, I look so feeble. "You don't have to worry about anything, Michelle," Enzo tells me after a while. "Just focus on getting better." "I just don't know what to say to you, Enzo." I finally find my voice. "I mean, in the last one day, my life has changed tremendously because of you. I don't know if it is a good thing or not, but deep inside of me, I love this." I begin to slowly trace the outline of his face. "Your attitude has rubbed off on me because I can't seem to keep you out of my mind." My mind drifts off to Nicholas for a moment and I feel guilty towards him. I am not supposed to be doing that because he didn't feel guilty towards me, did he? "You do not have to think about him, Michelle." Enzo's voice draws me back from my train of thoughts. "I am here for you now." He caresses my cheeks a little and smiles at me. "I think I have fallen in love with you in the space of one day, Michelle," he announces, and for a moment, I freeze right in front of him. Love? In just one day? Is that even possible? I spent 3 years loving Nicholas. Can I fall in love with someone else again just in a day? Don't get me wrong, Princess. His hand rests on my face and a shiver runs down my spine. I am also trying to figure this out too. You just want to be deep inside of me, Enzo, I blurt after a few seconds with a fake smile creeping up on my face, and he scoffs. I saw all of you a while ago. I would have been deep inside of you now if that's what I actually wanted, Princess, he answers. I am a good boy when it comes to you. I start to speak, but I immediately stop when my stomach begins to rumble and Enzo can't help but laugh out loud. He immediately pulls his body out of bed and walks towards my wardrobe before picking a silk nightdress which I didn't know was inside of it. Get dressed, he says as he throws it towards me. Let me make you dinner before you become my dinner. With a wink, he turns around and starts to walk out of the room, much to my amazement. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.